Newcastle, once a city characterised by the heavy steel and coal industries, is becoming the site of a bold new energy of creativity, culinary delights, music and art. The Edwards Bar of Newcastle West is one of the city's hospitality establishments with a difference that seeks to connect with the community on levels other than food and drink. We talked to owner Chris Johnston about Newcastle's revitalisation and what the Edwards is doing to contribute to it.
The building originally was, not originally, but it was a laundromat and dry cleaners that Chris's parents owned. So there was a connection already to the building and a connection to the West End. Wanted to do something with it, and we felt that we could create something here that would be a destination and a cultural experience, really. I think the biggest thing I've noticed in Newcastle is there's this really great entrepreneurial spirit at the moment, where people really feel like they can, if they've got an idea, they can actually just have a crack at it and kind of be prepared to fail. You see it with, obviously, I think Renew Newcastle had a great, there was a great catalyst for that. And there's a lot of young people just trying to get out there and, create something new and create something interesting. And we kind of feel that we're a part of that, in that we really wanted to rejuvenate the West End and kind of make it, an interesting place again, because it was a bit of a wasteland for a long time, and it was certainly seen as a nowhere place in Newcastle. And we feel like we had this really great, strong concept, which wasn't just focusing on food or drinking. It was a whole experience, which is why the laundromat's coming and the beer garden's coming, and we've got this really beautiful vinyl store coming, and we've got the laundromat that was always part of the plan. It's a tip of the hat to the history of the building and to the hard work that Chris's parents have done, and also it does create a really great kind of element, an unexpected element to a restaurant. Doing a laundry, but having a beer or a coffee or a meal and being part of something energetic and fun, and walking away with clean underwear, that's kind of cool. So also we've got this icon of Australian music in Chris Dunn, who started Waterfront Records in the 90s, and he has just still got a huge cult following, and he's in there cooking our eggs right now. And we're going to have this really beautiful, considered vinyl store where you can come. Again, it's not about turnover in the day. It's about creating that experience for the venue. It really adds soul to the venue in so many ways. So we're really excited about that. And then here where we're sitting now, this is going to be our beer garden. We were kind of tossing out what to do in here, and it's been a great evolution actually of the Edwards, and we feel like it's still a great space we can use for functions and events and art and music, and but it's going to have this really great kind of outdoory, indoory kind of feel. Since we started, we always had a vision for, being a really community focused space, not just for the West End but for Newcastle, and on the back of that we've had some really beautiful art exhibitions. We've had bands out here. We've got obviously the Impossible Market's coming up, which is quite incredible, the response we've had for that. There's going to be an Impossible Market every month, and it's going to be themed every one. So there's going to be a Christmas one, there's a spring one. I think this one's just a local makers one. So really reaching out to the great local talent and allowing them to display their wares. There's this really amazing interest and rejuvenation in markets at the moment, and you see it with the farmers markets, and it's a really beautiful way to shop. You're buying it straight from the guys who are putting their heart and soul into it, and Newcastle in particular have really embraced that style of shopping, part of that movement, I guess. and we'll throw everything behind it to make sure that it works. We're looking at having a street festival coming up where all the businesses in this part of Perry Street are involved, and we close off the street, and looking at on the back of that potentially really great New Year's stuff, and it's limitless what we can do. And already in 18 months we've had some absolute crackers, like really great events, and we're so happy to be a part of those things, and we just get a buzz out of it.
I asked Chris on his thoughts about the opening of the new and very popular Perry Street Garage down the road.
When Mark from the Surf House was doing it, he approached us and said, "Look, boys, hope you don't mind, but we are genuinely really excited about it." I've kind of always said it that I'd much rather peers than competitors. We were hoping that us opening down here in the West End Wasteland would create an opportunity for other people to do the same, and that's what's happened. And there's already interest in this part of Perry Street as well. There's a great chat about Perry Street, and genuinely we love that they did that, and it just shows that there's confidence in the area, and it can only get better. There's so many buildings going up. So obviously with the guys across the road with that really beautiful huge building there where they've got great little hubs for media and creatives to hire a little office, and so all of a sudden there's 80 people next door, really creative people in this one big sort of collective space, and it's a great concept, and it seems to be working really well. Great chat now about this part of the world, and we certainly haven't started that. We were in a really fortunate position with our timing, but we feel like that we were a catalyst for kind of the entertainment side of things down this end, which has been really well received.
I asked Chris about his thoughts on where Newcastle is headed in the future.
I think there is something about Newcastle it's not flash, like you said, it's a working class town, but there's real talent here and there's depth actually, and we've shown that we've got more to offer than just a steelworks, and it's growing and it's developing. And so what's been really evident is that we've got depth and we've got character, we've got soul, and I think it does come from our working class background, but also our ability to adapt. We're not afraid of hard work, and we don't necessarily like change. I would say that there's a lot of resistance to change, but I think it just means that it's considered, and it seems to be embraced when it does happen.